everyone, welcome to another process video. So this is another layout I am making with my August hip kit, and I'm just showing you that I have 4 pieces of paper left, and I'm going to choose the grey piece with the white writing on there by Studio Calico, and I'm going to use that with a piece of white cardstock from my stash. So I'm not sure, you have to bear with me for this video because this is about the second time that I have done the voiceover for this one, and every time I go to find it in my file it's not there. So this one was actually made quite a few weeks ago, so I might be a bit rusty in exactly what I've done, but we'll get there in the end. So I have gutted out the middle of the grey cardstock so that I can use that on the actual layout whilst also having the grey show through on the background of the layout. So just putting a piece of white cardstock from my stash onto that grey piece there and using my fingernail just to lift up the white cardstock a little bit and give it a little bit of texture so that it's not so flat on the page. I've just brought the edges up a little bit, and I have grabbed that piece of card, or the piece that I've cut from the middle of the paper, and I'm going to use that as the photo mat. And at the moment I am looking through that little pack of ephemera from the Crate Paper Notes and Things collection, and that came with the kit. And I'm looking through there and I'm looking for anything that is green or grey or anything with some brown tones. So they're the colours that I'm going for on this one, and so I'm just having a look for anything that might apply to that. So I've pulled out some of those little stars, and I probably won't use those, but I'm just pulling out anything at this point that I think that I might add, and I'm going to add lots of clusters underneath all the papers, or lots of little layering I should say. So just putting all that stuff to the side and trying to initially work out where I want the placement to be. So that photo there is of my son Isaac when he was about 2 years of age, and he's now 16, and he's my 6'4" boy. So he's my giant, and he's a gentle giant and always been a gorgeous boy. He's a gorgeous young man, and so I found that photo in my stash. It's one I hadn't scrapbooked before, so I thought I'd pull that out and give that one a go. So as you can see, this one pretty much came together quickly, and I've decided that I want to add lots of layers behind, and it's at this stage where I decide that I'm liking what I've got happening, and I'm going to start to cut out some pieces and start to stick it all together. So I want to save some of the pieces of paper for later on. So to me it makes no sense that I would stick one whole tag behind a photo and not see the bit in the middle. So what I often do is exactly what you've just seen there. I will cut a top section off and tuck that underneath, and cut the bottom section off and stick that underneath. So to your eye you think that there is a whole card, but I know that I have that extra little piece in the middle to add somewhere else to keep the same colour tones happening throughout the whole page, so that the whole page is consistent and I'm not wasting anything. So I'm sticking that grey mat down now. I'm just sliding it underneath those cards that I've already stuck, and that way I could tell exactly where I wanted it, and the little green cards on the side were lined up with the bottom of the photo, so that I knew that it was all straight and where I wanted. And so now this is the fun part of building up the layout with lots of little different elements. So when there is a collection pack with lots of different colour elements, it's often fun to pick out one colour or two colours and to be able to use those little bits to make a page. So the pages come together quite quickly and easily because you know that everything coordinates together, and it actually has a really good look. So I love colour, as you would know, and as you would see in my previous videos. I love to add colour, but sometimes I just like to keep the colour really simple as well. I think with boys or men's layouts, I like to keep the colour palette pretty neutral and pretty simple, and with the girls' layouts I tend to be a little bit more adventurous and add a little bit more colour. So not doing anything here that you can't tell what I'm doing, just adding some more dimension and looking for any spots that might seem blank and adding some little different things of interest. So trying to add a few elements that are see-through with the little vellum pieces, and adding the circle there to add a little bit more of a different shape. A lot of the elements are rectangle or square, so just changing it up a little bit and adding a different shape onto the page as well. So I have tried to use that little thing I'm pushing around at the moment. So that's one of the little chipboard dimensional stickers, and it says Fab, but I actually don't think I have used it throughout the whole kit. So the colour was a little bit different to the colours that I had been coordinating with, and I couldn't quite get the placement to work. So I don't think that finds a home in any of the layouts I've made so far, but it will stay in my stash until the perfect time, and I will find a place for it. So I just wanted to add a little bit more craft colour to the layout because I do want to use the cork stickers, and they are in a browny craft colour. So I'm just trying to add a little bit more of that colour into the layout by adding that little bit of card with the sewing on it underneath the photo, and adding a couple of little strips of card to the other places where you can see I'm putting it now. So up the top right hand side, in the middle section, and to the left section as well. So that brings your eye up from the left up to the right and down to the bottom, and keeps your eye moving around the page. So it just helps to just keep your eye moving around the page, taking in all of the elements and landing on the photo. So here I am trying to work out the best place for some embellishments, and I know that I would like to use that camera and that heart, but where are they going to go? So that looks like a good place for the camera, and the heart takes a little bit of time, a little bit of fiddling, and the card that I have there right now, that white card, is a little bit out of place, so I end up moving that later and taking it away completely, and it looks so much better. So I've just decided to add that little one up on some foam dots just to give it a little bit of dimension on the page, because the page is very flat. So just changing that up a little bit. So there I have taken that white card, or that cream card piece away, and adding that there. So I'm liking the look of that, and I'm looking to see whether it needs anything else, but I'm pretty satisfied. But I found these little wood veneers to the side. They were from the kit, and I still wanted to use them, so they're another little element to keep the grey and the browns added, whilst also adding a little bit of dimension as well, because they're quite thick and quite gorgeous. So just having another little look, and I'm pretty happy with that. So just adding my ink there, and that's the end. So you will see some stills, and you'll be able to see some close-up and some stills at the end. So thank you for joining me for another video today, And thank you for your support and for all of your likes and your thumbs up and for all of the comments. And I'll see you next video. Bye!